both of us are entrepreneurs, started up businesses, and, we're out there advising people, but we've gone through our own bell curve or two bell curves, however you find it in the graph. So what are some of your experiences just doing this yourself? Because it's easy to talk about other people.
Yeah.
When this has happened, in your own business, how have you overcome it?
So first of all, it's very humbling. So, every business is going to have its trials and tribulations. You're going to hit those bumps in the road. Hopefully you don't go through them, but you will. It is what it is. The best thing and the best advice I can give is, when you surround yourself with people better than yourself, when you're able to treat them with respect and appreciate them, and sometimes you don't have the cash or the capital to do those sorts of things, but it's the smaller bits. It's the thank yous you give every day. And it's the unified mission and purpose that you're really trying to drive for. So in our company, our mission and purpose is to serve accounting professionals and to support the profession and move it forward. And every day we're trying to think about how can we do that better, not only with our product, but, in our behaviors and our communications and the like. And it's a unifying force. And when, you have that, then people will stick with you through the harder times. And a lot of times the harder times come to you because you haven't thought about all the other strategic implications of what you've done, because you learn as you go. You're not going to know everything. And so you have to set yourself out there to take on some problems and situations that you don't know the answers to, and you have to sort your way through it. And the key is, I think as I've matured in this, and as we've learned through the experience, is to identify those sooner and cut bait. And then ultimately understand from a hiring standpoint, is it going to work or not? And, find someone at home if it's not going to work. But it's making those decisions more quickly and being able to recognize those problems more quickly. It's when you take the problem and you cycle on it and it keeps cycling, that's what's going to put you into a death spiral at the end of the day. So those would be some of the things that come top of mind. How about you? I mean, you've been living it as well.
Yes. Many times. I mean, I have a yoga business. I have my B3 Method Institute. I've had an accounting practice and gone through many changes of being a solo practitioner to a partner in a CPA firm to having a national accounting practice. And there have been trials, and no matter what business that I've been in. I also advise a number of startup companies when they're trying to scale and move their go-to-market strategy forward. And one of the things that is consistent is the success depends on your people and how you manage your people. And if you're micromanaging, you're never going to accomplish everything you need to accomplish because there's only so many hours in the day and you're going to burn yourself out. But you've got it, just like you said, make sure that you've got a staff that believes in the mission of what you're doing and really taking that time to step back and understand that mission, not the typical corporate speak that goes on a website, but the purpose driven, like what is the purpose of why you're in business and why do you care about being in business and serving the customers you serve, and not just writing it once, but talking about it all the time, because it actually makes those business decisions easier. Because as you're trying to make business decisions along the way, if you come back to that personal mission statement of the business, the purpose, does it align with the purpose of what we do and why we do it? Then it makes those decisions easier to make or not make, because you have to say as many no's, even more no's than you say yeses, so that you stay focused and then say, okay, we're going to say no to that today, but in 12 months, we're going to revisit. It doesn't mean it's forever. It means that everybody knows what that plan is in place so that you know how to get there. And I would say the other thing that's really important as you go through this process is stopping and pausing along the way. Not just keep pushing towards something because that's what you said you were going to do if it's not working. That many times in my businesses, I've had to step back and say, is this working? What's working? What's not working? Do we still believe in it? And if we do, what things do we have to change in order to still fulfill the mission that we're going on, but not just keep doing what we're doing and thinking that's the only way to get there?
Yeah, we do that probably, unfortunately, did it every, we started at the point, when we first started, we revisited 2 years. And it's almost, again, the frequency of at least a full strategy reevaluation needs to happen at least yearly, which is something that we learned because we went too far on that. I think other things were that, you know, you don't take enough time to celebrate.
Yes.
I'm one of those folks that I'll just drive from one thing to the next, and I don't have time to, you know, raise my flag and say, yay, but your team has to do that, and you have to do that. And if you don't, you're going to hit a lull. You will hit a point where you will be unproductive for months on end because you just don't have that time to shed all of that baggage that you've been carrying all the way.
Yeah.
Prioritization is another one. I've learned now that, you know, you really only have 3 things that you can really focus on. Anything more than that, you're just wishing, and it can't be done. And your time horizon allows you to limit that and change them up. But again, that transcends you. So if you're an owner, a founder, or, you know, you're a manager in a business, you exemplify what others are going to, you know, try to emulate. And so if you don't do that, you can't expect them to do that. My only last piece in this, and learning from our own business, is, you know, the purpose is one, and somehow trying to figure out how to get people's skin in the game or ownership. So when someone goes and they get done with the day and it's been a hard day and they say, well, it's just a job.
Yeah.
You've lost, because at the end of the day, it's just a job. They're going to walk away, and that's a disservice to the customers, and that's a disservice to the business. And so you need to figure out what's going to intrinsically motivate somebody, and it's not necessarily money. And those are the types of things that you've got to figure out in order to have a vibrant business, because you will go through ups and downs. And the moments when you go down is when those things will ultimately resurface to your benefit or to your detriment.
Awesome. So these have been great tips. Ian, where can people find this report if they want to see more of the data that you've pulled up?
You just go to karbonhq.com/practice-excellence. It's that simple. And they can go ahead and download that.
Great. Yeah, this will be very helpful to the profession. Thank you so much for coming on with me today and sharing this great piece of work you've done.
Thanks. Appreciate it.